What's going on, fellow A-Plusers? It's your boy, Adam Perez. We're back once again with a brand new video for you guys today, a reaction video to certainly say the least, as we are fresh off of CinemaCon Night 2, officially in CinemaCon Night 3 as of today. But after we wind up getting the DC Studios panel, we had a big showing of Superman. The entire cast was out there, along with James Gunn. We had David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, along with Nicholas Hoult. They gave us some really good, cool information while they were certainly on stage at CinemaCon. But what I noticed is that they got the opportunity to do some interviews with other outlets after the presentation at CinemaCon. I think Entertainment Weekly or Entertainment Tonight wind up getting one, and Fandango wind up getting one as well. So I may go ahead and check out the Entertainment Weekly one, but I wanted to give you guys my live reaction as we both sit down and sit back and listen to the cast of Superman give additional details or at least talk a little bit more about this movie. It's about an 8-minute segment, 8-minute interview from Fandango. I'm really fascinated to dive into this with you guys, honestly. So let's go ahead and see what the cast is talking about and see if they give up any juicy details, shall we?
Hi, everybody. I'm Nikki Novak here in the Fandango studio
Hey, Nikki.
with the cast. I'm so excited to say this of Superman and the creator, filmmaker of said film. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm probably
Tell
shitting my
very
pants
excited about
interviewing them.
Superman.
Why did I say hi so much faster than you guys? Why did it take you so long
you're
to
good
say
at
I
this.
think
hi?
we thought a question was coming or
Oh.
something.
It is
Sorry.
coming. I promise.
Okay.
You.
No,
I
no.
promise you. I'm going to start out with you,
Okay.
James. We are here at CinemaCon. There's some footage that you just showed. So what can you talk about?
I wish they
as
would
a
leak it,
companion
or
piece
not leak it, but I
to the
wish they would
footage? Is
release
there
it
anything that
to
you can talk about
the
what was
people.
shown today?
Well, I mean, we showed a little bit of the beginning of the movie, which is, not the whole beginning of the movie, but sort of a truncated version of that. You get to see, Superman's unique relationship with Krypto, and then it led into some other footage where you get to see little bits of the romance between Lois and the
Yeah, I heard they had a
hatred
sizzle
that
reel
Superman here
and the
is
sneak
burning
peek
with
that they
hatred.
showed.
I hired him because I said this man is so full of hatred.
I
Just
can
look
feel that.
Look
yeah,
at look
yeah.
at this face.
I hate being here right now.
Yeah.
I hate you touching me.
Yeah.
I hate Fandango.
Look at him cringe.
That is honestly the best soundbite I think we've ever had.
I hate Fandango.
Yeah, they'll be
We'll
using that for
forever,
years.
by the
Yeah,
way.
for
You
years.
literally just led me into the questions that I have for all of you. Can you talk about the relationship that Superman has with Krypto? Why do they need each other in this film? And what do they bring out in each other?
Krypto needs Superman. Superman doesn't need Krypto.
Okay.
Krypto's just been it's sort of a foster situation. Superman is taking care of his
Nice.
dog. He loves dogs, as most people do. But Krypto, as James has described, is the worst dog in the world with superpowers. So he's
Oh, it's
always
a pain.
destroying
That'd be
the
a
Fortress
pain.
of Solitude and hunting wildlife and just always getting into trouble, never listening. And although there's a great love and affection between Superman and dog, it's honestly more trouble than it's worth.
And does it build? Does it build? Does Krypto win Superman over, or is he just a big pain in the butt
Well,
for
you'll
the whole
just
thing?
have to watch
Such a
the
spoiler.
film, won't you?
You know what? At the end of the movie, he decides he hates Krypto. He kicks him out to take care of himself. And no, I mean,
This is like turning into like I hate Fandango. We hate the dog.
Yeah.
We
It's
hate
like-
dogs.
Just what
Yeah.
this film needs is a little more negativity.
We're getting canceled before we
He's
begin.
positive, he's the positive, happy. You said that this was your
I heard the
mantra on
sneak
set, that
peek was a
everybody had to be
big sort of
kind, and
Krypto
this was,
scene, for sure.
That's
we're gonna
right.
bring that kindness and positivity for you. Can you talk about?
Do I look the kindest and most positive of the bunch?
Yeah, I'm going to you to bring it back to the positive side, Rachel. It's all on you. You have said that in this story, you're madly in love with Lois, but Lois is not so sure. So can you talk about
Ooh,
why,
relationship
how,
gossip.
Sort of how it begins?
I said that?
You're giving away the
Apparently,
whole
I've been
damn
trying
movie.
not to say this whole week.
I know. They never know what to say. So they're sitting. Here's what this experience is like for them. I set the rules for what we give up from the movie, and they are well trained. They are much better than certain other actors I've worked with.
They're
where
better trained than
They're
Krypto.
like, I don't want to give away anything, so they're dating. Okay, we can say they're dating. They're dating.
Do you want to confer first,
You know,
and then
and
you
so
can answer?
yes.
You tell
Well,
him
the
panicking?
answer is yes. I think you're less certain of the relationship
Well, no,
than he is.
I know that,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
just
yeah.
don't know what I'm allowed to say.
No, but I think that we can say it. I think
Okay. So then, yes, yeah.
The
They're at
juicy
that pivotal
gossip.
point in a relationship where they've been together for a couple months, and they're doing that thing where they're like, was this a really fun
Oh, so they're
fling,
already
or is
in
this
the
something that could be
relationship.
forever?
Oh,
And
kind of figuring it out.
that's so sweet.
Aw.
She's not so sure at this point. They're learning that they have obviously a common set of values. They both believe in relentless pursuit of truth and justice, but they go about it in totally opposite ways. They have completely different worldviews. He's somebody who's really radically present and always looking to do the next right thing, but that can mean that sometimes he doesn't think about the implications of said next right thing on the other right things that need to be done. And she's somebody who prides herself on being 10 steps ahead of everyone at any given moment. She doesn't trust anyone or anything right away, and he thinks that everyone and everything is beautiful.
You're just so
And
darn naive. How could you be so naive?
No, no, not naive, not naive. Just,
Open-hearted,
well, I'm not sure what. Not naive.
heart-led.
Well, because naive does imply that you're missing something, and everybody misses something. But I think Superman knows that he misses something about people. He wants to miss the bad stuff. He wants to see the good stuff. I think he feels like if you focus too much on the bad stuff, which he tends to think Lois does, being a journalist and having to ask the tough questions, it's just a matter of like, why spend time thinking about all those terrible things when we did good things today and we could focus on those things.
And she's a little bit like, we could absolutely do that, but also we have to talk about the world
It's
as
like
it really exists.
We can talk about this when we
We
get
can
home.
talk about
No, I was just about to say this sounds like a relationship spat already between these two. The way, the way that he's like, no, I kind of disagree with you, Lois. That's really not how I am as a person. I really kind of take offense to the notion of being called naive. This is really how I say it. And she's like, well, that's something we'll have to talk about when we like, bro. This is the like the chemistry already between these two in this little spat is absolutely fantastic. But I do love the idea of like where we are kind of thrown into the world of the relationship between these two, that they've clearly have had a moment and they're trying to navigate these feelings in the sense of, do we want to move forward with this? What was this exactly, sort of thing? And trying to build upon that moment into something a little bit more tangible and a little bit more real. And so, while I think back to like Christopher Reeves movies and things like that and his journey with Lois, um there is a point in time where I feel like we're either in those movies, we're either with them just as they fall in love, and then we're with them already kind of in that aspect of things. I don't know if we've ever seen sort of that middle ground really, between those two. She clearly seems to know that he is Superman. I think maybe the closest we got to anything like that in a relationship was maybe Superman 2 for Christopher Reeve's movie, but just the idea of where these two characters' headspaces are at in regards to their relationship or their situationship, if you will, really fascinates me. And I think it's going to add for a really fun sort of dynamic that we've never really seen between these two characters in live action on the big screen. But just this little, this little back and forth between them, I think is a perfect example of their chemistry already.
this
This is a
later.
nice
This
little glimpse
sounds
of the
like
dynamic right here.
I
Look.
know. I was gonna say this sounds like every relationship, by the way, in the world.
It's really relatable.
And then I think it comes down to a basic philosophical difference. He believes that the sanctity of life is of the utmost important, no matter what. You do not let anyone die ever. Is a utilitarian. She believes that you want to do the most good for the most people, no matter how you do that, and she can see that that's not always the case. And those are just two different philosophical, ethical structures, and that causes problems in their actual practical
So
relationship.
can they be forever? No.
Well, they're also just magnetically drawn to each other. That's the other thing is, love is something that nobody can explain, and she certainly can't logic her way out of. They bring out love, and their relationship brings out the humanity in both of them. And that's one of the reasons why this is one of the most enduring love stories of all time.
Yeah, I think it definitely just sort of makes it work. I mean, not to say that you make concessions, but when you're kind of drawn to somebody like that, despite the differences, it's just you make it work.
Let's have the person enter that is going to ruin everything for everybody in this
this interview.
In my life.
You want to just end on I hate Fandango? No. For you, what I love about your career is nobody can typecast you because you
He was
have
great in
played, I'm
Nosferatu.
going to say air quotes, good guys, bad guys. I know everybody's more multi-layered than that. But in playing this character, I heard you say, somebody asked you, who did you look to outside of film? And you said, I look to Lex Luthor, the character.
Yeah, he's got such a wonderful, rich history. I mean, he's been embodied by so many wonderful actors, and through the comics, there's some brilliant writers and artists have had interpretations of him. But also just hearing you guys talking about the differences in their ideologies, Lex is kind of in this relentless end goal, and the means, he justifies any way possible to get to that. So he doesn't care about the consequences of anything. He's willing to put on the line to achieve his goals, and he thinks he's right in his pursuit as well. So, but I mean, the primary thing coming to this was James wrote such a wonderful script. The dialogue is fantastic. The world is rich and fully imagined from this whole universe that you're creating, and then he cast wonderful people in these roles, not including myself in that statement, but these two. So it's just like a wonderful exploration of what these characters could be.
I got to say, yeah, he is right. I mean, Lex is relentless. I mean, I've definitely seen from animated to live action to even comic books. I mean, the lengths that this man will go, the deceit that he'll put up, the front and the facade that he puts up, all in order to get to his end goal. And he really doesn't matter like who he hurts, who he steps on at the end of the day. And I think we've been able to see Nicholas Hoult play, like she says, it's hard to typecast him, but I've definitely seen him play some very troubled people. And he's got such an incredible emotional range. I mean, he was great in Nosferatu. I still want to see him in Juror number 2. I remember him briefly from the menu. I hadn't seen the menu fully, but I mean, he's got a really great range. And so maybe not the first person I would have thought about possibly casting for Nicholas Hoult, for Lex Luthor, but I am curious to see the dynamic and just what his vision is for Lex Luthor once we get into this movie.
I think Lex believes in scientific inquiry in the same way Superman believes in life. Like, he'll give up anything to learn something new about science.
Yeah.
Like, he'll let people die. He'll let anything happen because science is what matters. And taking that next step, even if it's going to destroy the entire planet, he wouldn't have any of the guilt that Oppenheimer had. He would just be like, I found that next step, and that's all he cares about.
That was necessary.
And the next film will be an Oppenheimer Superman crossover. Thank
Suppenheimer.
you. Suppenheimer, exactly. Thank you all so much.
Thanks
for
Thank
your
you.
passion.
Appreciate it.
Cannot wait to see this movie. Do you want to end on an I hate Fandango? I mean, just go for it.
Oh, yes. I hate Fandango!
I also will say too, in regards to this, one of the things that he said that really jumped out to me too was the idea of the the dialogue in this movie. I feel like I've heard that also secondhand from other people that had the opportunity to see the sneak peek and the sizzle reel, was that the dialogue really kind of jumped out at them as well. So I'm really excited for this movie, man. Like, I truly am. It is my most anticipated movie for 2026, or 2025, excuse me, this year. I heard, for those of you who don't follow the YouTuber John Campia, he had a great couple of clips that are out there of him talking about the description of the sizzle reel that they saw along with the sneak peek, and you can just kind of feel the optimism, the excitement, the joy of what they saw, and it really kind of helped build up my own personal anticipation for it also. They did show two sequences at CinemaCon, a sizzle reel to go ahead and kick things off. I kind of want to see the sizzle reel a little bit more than I do the sneak peek, but the sneak peek will be available if you want to go ahead and see it for yourself in front of the Minecraft movie that drops I think next week on the 8th, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it's this weekend. I'm not quite sure, but whenever the Minecraft movie drops, they will be showcasing the sneak peek in front of that film if you want to go ahead and check it out for yourselves personally. But I'm going to see what other Superman interviews are definitely out there with the cast to see if they divulge any other information. But that Lois and Clark relationship information was pretty juicy, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else they certainly give up in other interviews. But look, guys, let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section box below. And until next time, do me a big favor as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.